Hi guys. It's been a while. It's been months and months. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's getting on okay and stuff. Just for I thought another video out there. Um, just been a lot going on over the last how much months now. I can't even put my finger on how much months, but a lot's been going on. I've kind of just taken a step back a little bit. From doing this, haven't been on social media and stuff. So, yeah. But my last video, what I did with, I think it was with Chantal, and we was speaking about, how she got through with dealing with her brother's death, sorry, and what helped her kind of get through it and what is helping her kind of get through it. So we spoke a bit about that. But I just wanted to touch on, because one of the things she asked me before we did the video, before we spoke, she did ask me what helps me and who helps me get through my grief and what I'm going through. And I actually stopped to think about it, and I was like, what, I don't even know. I haven't really thought about it. I just do, if you get what I mean. And to be honest, I actually don't know. At one stage I was going for like jogs and walks. I was going to the gym, and then I fell off. And then once you fall off, like, the motivation is just kind of gone. So yeah, the motivation just kind of went, kind of thing. But anyway, I just carried on with life as you do, as you kind of just get on with it. But then things happen, and things happen, things come back to you, things start hitting you again, and you just kind of deal with it. And everyone's just dealing with their own emotions, everyone's dealing with their own feelings, everyone's dealing with their own bereavement and grief and their losses of different people. And I think, I won't say I don't have no one there for me, because I do. I get messages, do you want to speak, or do you want to talk, or how you feeling and stuff. But everyone who knows me, I know I don't speak anyway. I'd rather just go for a drive, sit in my car, listen to music. If I have to cry, I'll cry. When I do, I need to get back onto my walks, because it does help your mindset at the same time as well. But yeah, so obviously, like, over the last few months, just a lot of things been going on, and you're just dealing with emotions of losses over the last year and stuff. And another beautiful soul, a beautiful friend, passed away at the end of December as well. So that was another hit again. It's just like, it just starts the whole process again. You don't even get time to process the one before another one hits, and then another one hits, and another one hits. And so it relays everything back. It brings back everybody who you've lost previously as well. And you realise how much you haven't dealt with the ones previously before another one hits. So it's like all them floods of emotions of everybody on a whole just hits. It just hits. So over the last week, obviously it was my friend's funeral last week, and all that week it's just like I couldn't really sleep, like tossing and turning throughout my sleep. Just all week I just was kind of like down. I didn't want to speak to no one. I didn't want to answer my phone. I just weren't in the mood. Like, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm sitting there and thinking, okay, it's just me. You get what I'm saying? Me, myself, and I. And just like, okay, just get through it, innit? Like I said, it's not that no one ain't there for me, because people are there for me. But at the same time, it's like everyone's dealing with their emotions, and not everyone can deal with somebody else's emotion. Whereas I'm somebody who can probably, like, I'm dealing with my emotions, but I can also deal with other people's, if that makes sense. So if someone else is going through something, I'll be there, I'll be up for it, I'll listen to them, I'll speak. It's easier for me to speak to them about their emotions and what they're going through, rather than speak about my own emotions, which sounds a bit mad, but I won't speak about my emotions. I'll just ride with it and just deal with it myself and how I need to deal with it then, rather than I don't talk. So there's no point asking me, oh, do you want to speak? Get it off your chest, whatever. I don't do that. I just feel crap this week. I'm not in the mood. I feel down, or I feel emotional, and that's how far as it goes. But I know how I have to deal with it. I'd rather just say, all right, come, go for a drive, go for a walk, just sit, we don't need to speak. You know what I mean? Or I just have it, like, I wouldn't even say I have a drink because I never really had a drink through that week. I just there. You know what I mean? When I was thinking, look at this. This is just everything just hits. Everything just hits. You could speak to somebody last week or speak to somebody yesterday, and today is a whole different situation. You know, it's a lot. So yeah, so I've just kind of like took a step back from social media anyway. I just haven't been on there. I just haven't been Insta, Facebook, anything or whatever. I've just been kind of like just trying to process everything what's going on, and just realizing how much I really haven't dealt with my mom. People probably feel like, yeah, it's been 8 years, you know, it's like nearly 9 years now. Like, you kind of should have kind of dealt with that, but you're not in if you're not in that situation, you really don't know, in a sense. And like, everyone's different as well, and especially because I didn't even get the time really to process anything. Like, she passed, and then obviously like the day before she passed, or 2 days before she passed, I was at the house. The next day she's in hospital. Then like the next day after that or something, she's passed. Like, do you know what I mean? So, and then you get everyone just turning up at your door. So it's just also all of a sudden, it's not even a 9 nights, because it's more than 9 nights that people just be turning up. It seems like it probably is 9, but it probably more. And people just turning up, and it's like you can't leave the house because people are there. And when you do leave the house, you're getting phone calls like, oh, where are you? Like, you know, this one's asking for you, that one's asking for you. So you don't have that time to just breathe. And then when it's all over, it's just like you're back to reality. The kids, school run, work. And if I weren't going to work, I weren't getting paid. It's like you just dive yourself back into work. So there's no process. There's no time for you to kind of deal with that. Do you know what I'm saying, Chad? When you got children and it's just you, like, there's no time, because you can't just like dump your kids. You know what I mean? You just haven't got nowhere to just say, okay, home my kids for 3 weeks, home my kids for 4 weeks, like, you know. And you have to deal with your children because they're your children at the end of the day. So there's no real process. The only little gaps I had between is when I was at school, but then I was at work, and maybe I have an hour before I have to pick them up, or half an hour if I'm lucky, and I will come and sit at the cemetery. So there's no, even though it's 9 years this year coming up now that my mum's passed, it's just like, still, it's just, there hasn't been a process where I've been able to deal with it on a whole, then without that happening. And then a couple of years after, like, losing another friend, like Tusa, as I said in one of my other videos, like, then her passing, and then that hit me probably, like, not as much as like, obviously your mum's your mum, but I didn't feel like I could feel as much pain as I did again. You get what I'm saying? And then Tusa passed, and then it was just like, that just took a toll on my body. Like, made me feel, I just was weak. I just physically couldn't even get up off the chair. I just had to not go to work or whatever. Like, that hurt. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and then trying to process that, and that's only been a couple of years. And then a next friend hit, and then my auntie's hit, then my next auntie hit, then now another friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is never ending. So you don't get 100% of your time to kind of process the first loss, in a sense. So this week it's just been feeling like a volcano, like, erupting. You get what I'm saying? It's just like everything exploding and whatever, and you just feel like you're just there. It's you one, even though you know it's not you one, because everyone's going through something, but you just feel at the time it's just you. You get what I mean? Like, and you just have to deal with it. You just have to continue. And like, right now I'm just like, I've come to the cemetery because I don't know, I've woke up. I was okay, but then I woke up okay, and then doing what I'm doing, but I just felt emotional and driving and feeling all emotional or whatever. So, like, I've come to my place, cemetery, to sit, you know, and just sit, basically. Like, I can't even say it makes you feel any better, but it's just like at peace, because like I can't go to my mum's and sit there like I usually would. Like, so this is where I come, just kind of sit for a bit, sit at I haven't got nothing to sit on at the moment, so I'm not sitting by the grave. So I'm just sitting in my car where I can see the grave. So yeah, like, but I just thought I'd touch base with kind of how I'm feeling at the moment, and why I just took a step back a little bit from social media and stuff and haven't posted because so much is going on. But I will be uploading more often now. I hope everyone has a blessed rest of the week. blessed Friday. And yeah, just keep liking, subscribing, and sharing. Much appreciated.